So vocabulary list 44 is signs that you would use related to time. So actually telling time is a different lesson. So this video is just about time signs that you would use related to time. So we're going to start with around or approximately. In English, we often say about. I'm going to be there in about 15 minutes. You want a 5 hand shape with your palm facing down. Relax your shoulder and your elbow so you're just using neutral space here in front of you, and you just do circles. About, approximately, around. The sign for hour is signed with a flat hand shape on your non-dominant hand, a 1 hand shape on your dominant hand, and your palms are going to face each other, okay? There are 2 ways to sign hour with the movement, 2 movements. You can either just go all the way around and hit hour, or you can bend your wrist as you go around. Hour or hour. Minute is similar, only you're not going to, take that minute hand all the way around to a 1 complete hour. You're just going to tick 1 little minute, like a minute hand does. Minute, minute. Some people will sign minute instead. Half an hour can be signed 2 different ways. Well, it's the same movement and palm orientation and location. It's just a different hand shape. So for half an hour, you have that same clock that we had for hour and minute on your non-dominant hand. But then instead of having your palms facing each other, your dominant hand is going to have the palm facing away from you. Okay, you can either use the 1 hand shape like this or a B hand shape like this. There means the same thing, half an hour. Okay. Now, this sign for half an hour literally just means 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be from the top of the hour to the bottom of the hour like it would be on a clock, if that were a clock. So like if I show up at 2:10 and I'm going to stay until 2:40, I can still say that I'm staying for a half hour. The sign for seconds is SEC. So you've got hour, minutes, and seconds. Noon is signed, or if you remember morning and afternoon, and this represents the sun, right? Noon is going to be where it's straight up. Okay. I've also seen people not just with this flat hand shape, but signing 12, the 12 hand shape. So noon or noon. Similarly, midnight, instead of being the sun right straight above you, it's straight below you. And I know you can't see the rest of my hand down there. It's kind of an awkward sign, but midnight is going to point straight down like that. And I have also similarly seen people sign 12 down there too. The last sign on this list is the sign time. You can think of it as just a wristwatch, and you're just tapping it. So this is your dominant hand. It's not really an X hand shape. It's still a 1, but it's just bent a little bit. Time. Now you can remember it like a wristwatch, but here's your fun fact for the day. The sign for time did not come from a wristwatch because the sign for time is older than wristwatches. The sign for time actually comes from the French sign for time, which is the little, what's that called? Like a hammer on a bell that marks the time, like in a church tower or something. And so it changed from the French sign for time to the American Sign Language sign for time. So there's your little bonus for the day. All right. If you remember the sign many, you might remember that you can make it a question by putting your eyebrows down to ask how many. When you are doing this, the same principle, I guess I should say, applies to time. So if you just say time, that just means time. But if you put your eyebrows down to make it an open-ended question like you do when your eyebrows are down, then this becomes, what time is it? Could you say time what? Sure. But it is also very common to just put your eyebrows down to make it an open-ended WH question and sign time. What time is it? All right, that is vocabulary list 44, signs related to time.